My name is Bentley Cheechoo. I'm from the Constance Lake First Nation. I'm from the Treaty 9 or the James Bay Treaty area. 4 young men in our community that got charged for hunting, and I thought of that and I thought, well, that's a violation of the treaty. At that point, I had not even read about the treaty, or I have not even read the treaty at that point. So I proceeded to do some research on the treaty, and I found some documents, and others provided documents for me. And sure enough, I discovered that it was a violation of a treaty right when you charge a Native person. Then my father got charged, my own father, and when that happened, I really got into the treaty because my own father was charged setting a net in an area that was where he was not supposed to set a net, apparently. And then secondly, my uncle got charged. So we helped my uncle to go through that, and we won that case. And as I got older and got a little bit more conscious of the fact that I should know some of the background, how the treaty got there, what were circumstances surrounding that, and I did some research, and I worked with the individuals like Jim Morrison he's a professor now over at the Manitoba University, and also the late John Long, talking to them countless hours to try to understand from their perspective all the research that they have. And recently talking to an individual like Janice Armstrong. She's also a very highly regarded researcher in the area treaty. Through all of that, I learned a lot about the treaty, and also like reading some of the materials that I could get my hands on. It's not a very enjoyable reading. It's not something that you want to. But it is, because I'm interested, it's not boring. But I think the real impact on the community that I see about treaties, that and in my age group, if I want to put it that way, it is easy to talk about the treaty. But when you get young people, you know, that were once my age too, there's no discussion about treaty. And I think it's important that the treaty become an awareness not only in a non-Native community but also in our own community. And from that, they say, well, you talk about treaty, what the rights are, but also you have to go beyond that. They have Aboriginal rights. They have rights that need to be respected, and you know, and if decisions need to be made about how it's going to impact, they need to be part of that process. I think that's just a red herring, that when you say a treaty is historical, it's a red herring. Treaty is a living document. It'll always be a living document, and it'll evolve over a period of time. Well, you know, when they were talking about treaty in 2005, they looked at it from a perspective of their economic condition those days. That's why you have the provisions in the treaty that are there: hunting, fishing, and trapping. That's what they were doing. Today, it's different, and so therefore you have to have that modern discussion. Was designed in perpetuity. That means it's forever. That's fine as far as the treaty is concerned. But when it's interpreted, it means, oh yeah, all those things too. Your rights are terminated. You surrender the land. These are all interpretations of somebody's not wanting to address the real issues. The real issues are those things saying, well, okay, yeah, I should have. People say this. We should have some economic benefit. You know, I've had this discussion before with provincial representatives and federal representatives, and even politicians. I've had that discussion where you know, former ministers of the Ontario government say, "Oh my God, no, we can't settle. We can't do this. can't reopen the treaty for NAN because this was going to cost us billions and billions of dollars. And I would say, no, it won't cost you a dime. They said, why? Rip up the treaty and then start all over. And oh no, we can't do that because they see the treaty as their way of interpreting it to their benefit. So if you want to have a good truth and reconciliation process, those things have to be resolved. Leading to the future, you have to resolve them. You can't say, this can't go on forever. The government's going to come to our people and say, we want this resolved, but we want to resolve it final. Well, it'll never be final. That's not what a treaty is. Treaty is forever. It cannot come strictly from us as a monetary thing. It's got to come from what you are as a people. The land was given to us that I believe it's a gift from the Creator. You have a responsibility to look after it. The needs are different than what they were back then. The needs are different, so therefore you have to move along with time to be able to look after the needs that you have.